questions, just ask us in the comments and we'll answer them. So Sandrine, Baptiste, why don't we start and dive right into it?
Okay. So our question today is, like you just said, what your customer really think of you. So first of all, don't take it too personally, because to the customer, you represent the company. So don't be sensible. You must distinguish your own person and your company. It's not always easy, but it's important to keep this in mind. So you will see that it's not as easy in an example that we will show you. Mm-hmm. What your customer really think of you, it's a provocative question, and it's difficult to answer it because you're not a mentalist. I'm not a mentalist, and nobody can really read minds, so it's difficult. But we can try, okay? And don't forget one more thing is that the customer opinion can also change. It's moving, so don't worry. And one more thing, customer will not necessarily say what they really think. You must also pay attention to what they do not say.
Okay.
So do you receive only a few negative feedbacks, for example, from your customer? Well, know that this does not mean that all the other are satisfied. Only one dissatisfied customer out of 26 complaints. So the other 25, meanwhile, simply prefer to leave. So really, we have to keep this in mind. That's why it's so important to get these claims and suggestions that most of your customers will not give you spontaneously. And the web is a great way to collect this customer feedback. Mm-hmm. So
we'll show some reviews.
Yeah, we'll show you some reviews.
To illustrate the...
Yes, we just selected them for you. Okay.
Okay.
So this one, so here are some examples we've selected just for you. So here, this is the person who complains about a customer service. Obviously, well, I can just read it just quickly. So I can speak for their pest control service yet, because when I tried to reschedule my appointment, the man answered the phone, talked over me and said, it's canceled, despite me saying I was calling to reschedule, and then hang up on me before I could even protest. No goodbye, or is there anything else I can help you with? Just hang up. You should definitely not be working customer service in any capacity. So here, obviously, she will never call this company again. Yes. Well, not really. Let's see what the company give as his answer.
As a reply, yeah.
As a reply. So, hi, Christine. I'm so sorry that you had this experience. Please allow me to apologize for what happened. I'm sure that there is a reasonable explanation. Her office staff love helping customers, and I'm sure that we did not intend to hang up on you. We exist only to serve customers. Is there any way I could help you get your service rescheduled and try to repair a relationship? I would love to offer you a discount due to this negative experience. And wow! Christine answered, and she said, thank you so much for taking the time, to answer. And at the end, she updated, her review and said that she had a bad experience first, but it can change, and she's happy now. So what I would like to...
I would really like to point out the thing that probably the employee who hung up on her was quote unquote just an employee, but the great reply she received was actually from a business owner. So you can definitely see like the difference there of how much these people care about the business and about the outcome.
Of course, that's interesting to know that even if you have a bad experience, you can change a customer mind, you know, just being nice and just apologize and simple things, you know. So, well, it's one of our example. And now we have another one.
Yes.
Another one. It was fun to do that. So I'm not gonna read it. It's very long, but here you have this client is writing this long message because I'm telling you quickly, the macaroni and cheese and the baked beans horribly made, wrong sauce, and this place sucks and do not go there. So okay, that's what he's saying. And the owner just answer, you're an idiot. What a moral. Okay. So
all right, so maybe the business owners aren't always the best people to handle customer experience.
Probably. Maybe he never test the food. I don't know, but this is just an example of a company that totally lose its temper. You know, insult the customer in return. So that's a really bad idea.
It is.
Now, another one, a funny one. Okay, so the service was good. The food wasn't good. The lobster, I had a reservation at 7 and we came a little late. Well, bad experience. And the manager answered, if you come late and your table was given away, how did you manage to eat the lobster that we don't sell? So, okay. Here, sometimes reviews are a little bit strange, you know. And the customer maybe is just a restaurant in front of this one. I don't know, you know, sometimes reviews are just fake, so you have to be careful also. You know, it's one thing that you have to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like this one. I couldn't resist for this one.
Okay.
The company is being a little bit mean, you see. So, horrible restaurant, went for my anniversary. My wife's food had hair in it. They didn't take it off the bill, nor did the manager apologize. I would never recommend this place to anyone. Okay. And the answer of the restaurant is, anniversary? I said you are single. And after that, the customer answered, my relationship life doesn't revolve around my and the restaurant answer showed like something that the customer posted on his Facebook. San Diego is a great.
Oh my God.
There's nothing like New Jersey. Well, just another example. It's just for the fun. I showed you this one, but here he just used Facebook's information against the customers. So it's an exchange between those two that don't resolve anything and give a bad image of both person. So
yeah, I mean this really doesn't solve anything. Like it's not helpful for a customer, it's not helpful for a restaurant. It's maybe just helpful for 5 minutes for the person who was replying to like heal their ego or something, but in the long run it doesn't make any sense.
Yes, I know. So now, there's another one. Okay, no, this one. So, sat at the bar with my friend tonight for an hour and she never got served. Bartender was rude. Okay, so response from the owner. Your friend was intoxicated to the point of falling down. She was cut off. It would have been illegal to serve her. If she needs help, sick. No. Hey.org. So it's a sarcastic one, of course. It doesn't resolve anything, but you know, I couldn't resist. Okay. Now another subject. Now talking about love brands. You know,
okay.
That we like. So they have good reviews. Survey from it's a survey from 400,000 person, and it's only for United States. You know. And it's interesting to see that usually, well, this is a lot of service, you know, brands. Like when I looked at it, I don't know some of them I don't even know them, but I can imagine that these brands invest a lot into social media management for sure, and that they are very, very careful with reviews in order to keep this good image. And well, it was just to show you. And Subway, I didn't know that it was one of the, and Dove, I don't know. Well, it's interesting. And
how do they actually measure like how people like it? Do you know the metrics?
no, not exactly. I know there's a lot of people, but I don't know exactly how they found now. I don't know exactly. So now we're going to talk about different ways to get customer feedbacks. The way to go beyond what your customers say and do not say, that we just said. So maybe you can talk a little bit about Yarea.
Well, we have on Yarea some models to get this information, this insight, to know what your customers really think about your product, about your service. Because sometimes your customers won't say anything directly to you. They won't give information, even if you ask them. You have to give them some tools so they can give their feedback directly on an interface. So Yarea is a good way to also to get feedbacks. Here you have the screen of the customers list. When you go on a customer record, you can see his activity in your modules. For example, you see for this customer 3 idea proposed, and you could see he is interacting with you. You have this information and this history directly on your admin panel. It is also important to have this capacity to get feedbacks, passive feedbacks.
Yes.
And you just one thing.
Yes.
There is something, you can't see it, but I like it. You know, the second column is emoji. There is no emoji here, but they will
to have the last reaction
yeah.
of your customers on the portal, so you can have a good idea of their mood. Can be useful if you see that last time you have a bad reaction or good reaction, can give you some information to make change.
And it makes it easier to focus maybe on the one who are not happy.
Yes.
You know?
Do customers actually use it like when they're unhappy? Do they just pick the angry emoji?
There is a lot of emoji. You can users can make a choice between I think 10 emojis. So it is more than happy or unhappy.
Yes.
Okay.
There is a subtle difference.
Okay. So there are, I think, 2 ways to get feedbacks. Direct feedbacks from the client or feedbacks requested by the company. It's 2 different ways. First, let's talk about the direct one. So what are the main ways to do it? So it's social media, for example, well, you know, Facebook, Twitter, and you know, this famous one. And then you have Yelp, which is an online review network. So I think everybody knows this one, but really, you know, focus on reviews. So that's very interesting, and that shows that, you know, everybody need to know what other people think about the brand before buying anything or going anything else. It's very important. And then you have the Google review. Now, even if I need to pick a doctor, for example, I go on Google review and see what's happening, because sometimes your parents, your family, your friends doesn't know this doctor, so you need to know. So myself, I use a lot the Google review. And then you have the forum. Do you know Reddit?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so the largest one, and so consumer shares their positive and negative experience, and we heard that it was the fifth website used in the United States.
In the world.
In the world, no, the 20th in the world and the fifth in the United States.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It really showed that people need to exchange about a lot of things, but about reviews too.
Mm-hmm. We have quite a good question from Stephen.
Yeah.
Stephen is asking, the goal of Facebook is engagement. Back and forth between vendor and customer is their best case. Is Yarea a reputation management app? Can it monitor Facebook or Yelp comments? Thanks.
For now, no, but we plan to add more modules. You have to see Yarea like a versatile platform, so you can build your portal. The idea of Yarea is to have in the future hundreds of modules, so you can combine them. Today, this is not possible, but something we could consider for the future. Mm-hmm. Reputation management too.
Yeah. I'm not sure, guys, if you know how exactly Yarea works, but you can basically build your own customer portal from modules that are already pre-made. So if you want to have a blog module, you can just take the module and put it into your customer portal. And under it, you can put feedback module and so on. And this is like the basic structure of how Yarea is built. And there can be like more modules built in the future. And one of them might be actually the monitoring tool of the reviews on Facebook and Yelp.
Yes, you have also Zapier to come with a API also, so you can integrate with your favorite apps if you are a developer. But in the future, we want to provide these pre-made modules as more as possible, but we need to design it, to think about it, so to provide a great customer experience and a great user experience. We don't want to make modules too early. We want to think it. So this is what we don't have yet thousands of modules. But the goal is to have as more as possible of modules.
Okay.
So in this part, we just talked about feedbacks given directly to your company from the customer, but shared with the whole world. And these reviews, you can't really control them, and it sometimes can be a disaster. So you better ask them for feedbacks before they do it themselves and share it to the world. So this is the second point. Another way to get feedbacks. So it comes from the company. So there are a lot of ways, like satisfaction survey. You go to hotel or you go to a restaurant. So it's easy. You receive most of the time by email, but you can also do it offline, like street surveys, for example.
Okay.
The problem sometimes for this satisfaction survey is that it's the brand who sets the question. So, I think you must focus on open questions to make really customer express, themselves, and limit the number of questions too, because otherwise they will abandon and just leave, because sometimes surveys are really, really long.
I mean the example you mentioned, like go to a street. I think it's more about market research than like research about your specific brand, right? Because I mean, find somebody on the street who knows your brand. It would be quite tough. But I was actually part of this research. I was walking on a Wenceslas Square in Prague, and a girl stopped me and she asked, "Hey, do you want a free beer?" I was like, "Yeah, of course, give me free beer." And she was like, "Okay, then you need to go with me." At this point, it started to be a little bit weird, but I said, okay, let's go. My friend was there with me. And and what she did, she actually gave us a free beer, and she asked us like multiple questions about beer, about consumption of beer, and there was many other people drinking free beer. And yeah, this is actually how they were conducting their market research. And it was like really cheap incentive to get like my time.
But it's not really fair, because after a beer, you're not really,
Right.
objective, I think. So I don't know about that.
That might be the case, yeah. Good point.
Okay, so satisfaction survey, but you also have anonymous feedbacks. It can be risky, but like in this way, people will express themselves more freely without shame or restraints, So that's a good idea today to think about it. But there is another way we like is put yourself in the shoes of your customer. The mystery customers.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have an example to show you. I think it was a few days ago, so it's really
5 days ago.
5 days ago. So it's Augustin de Romanet, who is the CEO of Paris Airports,
Mm-hmm.
and he decided to go in his own airports to see what was going on. And after he saw like hundreds of person waiting, like he said, come at 7 a.m. at the airport as a mystery client. I cannot believe that there are 90 minutes of waiting for the arrivals. I can only say that the passengers that I share their disarray. This is unacceptable. The group mobilized itself so that this is no longer possible. So this is the big boss who decided to put this on Twitter. So, and I think it's interesting, and it's probably the best way to know exactly how your company handle things,
Yeah, I think it's quite a big industry, like doing these mystery shoppings and mystery visits. That you just play a customer, and then you like write reports to the people who ordered it. Like, it's a great feedback, absolutely.
Yeah, and another way is to put yourself in the customer one. There are a lot of TV show in America. What's it called?
Boss Undercover.
Boss Undercover. And this, do you know this one? This TV show, Boss Undercover?
No, I actually don't.
Well, it's just a boss that decided to be an employee.
An employee.
And
Yes.
he puts himself as an employee. So that's interesting because he can see two things. The first one is what employee think about the company.
Mm-hmm.
Can be also interesting, and what the customer think of the company. So I think that's a good thing to do when you can. And there are a TV show in France and in America, and probably others, that showing that the boss and the company really care about customers and need to know, and the boss is coming to make sure customers are
Treated well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then you have also the suggestion box. You can have it online.
Mm-hmm.
Or outline. It depends. Can be interesting too when you don't have a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a good thing.
Online, you have services like a jar to get feedback directly on your website, but you can also use a customer portal to leave it as a self-service. So a jar is more in the moment. You can leave a feedback. When you have a customer portal, it is more self-service. When your customers have something to say or to ask to you.
Mm-hmm.
When they want.
I'm gonna plug in our LTD here, which we have, because we are actually promoting Hotjar alternative, which is Capturely. So if you want to like know a lot about what are people doing on your website, just take a look on Capture Leads on PitchGround, because it will give you all the data as Hotjar plus some more. All right, moving on.
Okay. Another thing is that you have to go deeper. You need to dig. You know, people. I mean, customer are not saying everything. So now all the reviews you have, you really need to analyze them, and you need to
ask a question.
Yeah, but to go really deeply, because this answer need to be carefully analyzed, because clients are not always clear. Sometimes for fear or conflict of courage, or even well, you need to go further. Really, yeah, it's very important.
Yes.
And another, yeah. So the three main reasons why I think your customer, you need to know what customer really think of you. What three main reasons is that getting customer feedbacks allows you to understand the mistakes you have made, and especially to improve your product accordingly. That's the first thing. And then to know exactly what the customer wants. The customer feedback will be a source of inspiration for new products, well, new ideas. It costs a lot, you know, to find new ideas. So if customer can give you new ideas, that's a good thing. So you can use, you know, these comments to your advantage. So a customer who gives his impressions, you will feel more concerned about your work, about your products, especially if you pay attention to them, you know. So they also allow a greater involvement of the customer, I think.
Yes. Okay.
So we're going to conclude. So
exactly 30 minutes, guys. You are precise.
So what your customers really think of you depends on you. It depends on you, on your will to really know. Depends also on your capacity to listen to your customer, answer them, reach them, to have more insights on what is really going on their feelings. So still, a review, even bad, is a positive thing. You could turn it into an opportunity and in terms of the situation to your advantage.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot. This was again insightful and fun. I mean, all the reviews you've shown us, it was really interesting to see like how in how many different ways people can react to such a feedback. Now, let me quickly share my screen, because so many people are asking, hey, when is Yarea launching? So this is when is Yarea launching. So November 18, guys, mark the date in your Google Calendar, because this will be the launch day of Yarea. Today we are talking about what your customers really think of you. And on Monday, Yarea is launching detailed walkthrough and a huge Q&A. Here's a typo, walkthrough. Yeah, there's a typo. I'm sorry, but it's a walkthrough. So on November 18th, it's launching. So please make sure, if you want to build your own customer portal, this webinar is for you. And then there are two more webinars on November 19th and November 20th, which are all about Yarea and how to get started and how to keep using it. So on November 19th, installing, managing models, combining modules. For people who just joined, modules in Yarea are so like different Lego bricks that you can build on top of each other. So for example, you want a customer portal with feedback, that your customers can send you a feedback or upvote something or read your internal blog. Well, you can do it all with the different modules. And the best part is that all these modules are being still updated and being added new and new every month. Or how often do you actually add new modules, guys?
Excuse me?
How often do you add new modules to Yarea?
We have a roadmap. We plan to add it every month, 2 or 3.
Okay.
We prefer to have a great experience. So it needs time to make it
Absolutely.
really good. But we will add also integration module more often. Call Facebook login.
Okay.
GitHub login next year. So these are also modules, but for the core modules, the biggest one, it takes more time to publish it.
All right, so I said it correct. Yarea are adding modules every single month, around 1 or 2, because they really want to care about customer experience, which is actually something we talked about yesterday. You can watch a replay. Now, last webinar will be on November 20th, which is about how you can customize your portal, how you can categorize your customers, how you can how you can use your custom domain to showcase your customer portal. So this will be really in detail an advanced webinar for Yarea buyers. Guys, you can register for all these webinars on yarea.heysummit.com. The link should be in the description of this live video, and it's called Customer Loyalty Accelerator, create a healthy relationship with your clients to win more business. And another next webinar is starting in 3 days, 1 hour, 25 minutes and 42 seconds. So make sure that you will join. Just fill in your email address here, and bam, we will send you everything you need into your email inbox. So guys, let me check if we have some questions on Facebook. I don't see any other question. By the way, guys, thanks a lot for the questions, for being here with us. I see that this topic was quite interesting for you because a lot of you joined, which is amazing. So I think it's time slowly to wrap this up. Sandrine, Baptiste, is there anything else you would like to add to PitchGrounders on this beautiful Friday?
No, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being here, and I want you to say have a good weekend and see you on Monday.
Absolutely. All right, guys, thanks a lot for joining and enjoy your weekend. We are going live in 1 hour and 30 minutes again. Next webinar, but with Yarea, next webinar is in 3 days and 1 hour. So please, guys, join on Monday as well and have an amazing weekend. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.